Hello there, everybody. It's about a Night 2 AK Nightmare, and welcome back to the Rising of the Shield Hero. In the last episode, we had ourselves a couple of interesting competitions. The first, it was two competitions between the same individuals. So the first competition was Spear Hero versus the Shield Hero in a battle of sorts. And the rule of that was to make to kind of release Raftalia from her slave pact and all of that. Even though they pretty much did not even want to hear anything. They freaking bound her, for crying out loud. So they didn't want to hear anything she had to say. And I gotta say, the combat was actually really interesting seeing these two go at it. And it was actually really cool seeing how Naofumi was able to utilize his abilities to the best of, like, he's a capable enough fighter just using his defensive abilities. And unfortunately, Malty, or Mine, whatever the hell her name is, which you kind of explained her actual name is Malty, cheated. And they tried to throw that all just, they tried to make it look like, no, she didn't cheat or anything like that. You're the cheater. And we got to see that the sword hero and the bow hero actually stood up for Naofumi. But also, during that time, we saw things through Naofumi's perspective for a moment. How he was viewing, because of all the trauma that he experienced in this world. Which that was kind of explained about. Thank you very much for doing that. So that was fucked up. But it was a very tender moment between Naofumi and Raftali, and I actually really enjoyed it. And then our next episode, we got an egg that hatched into this little chicken creature, or a I can't fucking pronounce it. But needless to say, they got the name Philo. And during the time that Naofumi and Raftali were staying in that village, it was surprise, surprise, Spear Hero and Malty suddenly showed up. Of course they did. And it was really good seeing, like, the villagers kind of standing up to them in a way and actually supporting the Shield Hero, which that was great, considering how screwed over Naofumi even got in from the first episode. How his name was pretty much besmirched. So that was great. It was great being able to see them actually stand up for him. And then we got to see a race between the Spear Hero and the Shield Hero. Unfortunately, it was pretty up that Malty had people around cheating, and I rose a question like, is the Spear Hero not even noticing all this? Yeah, he's literally not even noticing it. That is incredibly oblivious. So he's basically the harem oblivious type. Fantastic! I'm kind of wondering how this is gonna play. It's got me really curious how, I know he's kind of a dick, but I kind of want to see how the Spear Hero actually, I just want to see if he has the potential to grow. Like, what if he realizes that, oh shit, I've been lied to this entire time. The guy's not a scumbag. Or something like that. And I'm kind of hoping to see that. Maybe. Possibly. Oh yeah, also the chicken just turns out to be a weird little lolly. So that's a thing. Yeah, that's gonna be, Explain? So anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and jump. One more thing. There was another individual, like some other sort of royalty, that apparently had been keeping their tabs on Naofumi. And one of you guys kind of brought up that even in the beginning, you could see one of the masked people there, and I feel dumb because I went back and I rewatched the first episode and I saw it, and I'm like, holy shit! How did I not recognize that? So they've been kind of keeping tabs, not only on Naofumi, but they've been keeping tabs on this kingdom. Which, to be fair, since Malty has shown herself to be quite a bit of a not so honorable individual, and the king seems to be doing the same thing, it makes sense that they've been kind of keeping an eye on them in general. So, I'm kind of looking forward. I'm wondering if Naofumi will be able to meet this queen individual, Kind of see, like, get the whole deal, or what the hell's going on with the corruption of this particular royalty, I'm wondering what she knows. But anyway, let's see what this other episode. All right, that episode was really nice. Okay, so apparently Philo needed some clothes because every time she transformed, it would tear him apart. That actually makes logical sense, considering when she's a little girl, all of a sudden, giant chicken. And apparently there are clothes that are specifically for transforming creatures, which kind of glad that that's a thing. I like the idea behind the whole mana thread too. Also got to see a rather nice woman helping out the team. I like the little bit about him now. He now has access to, information concerning a bunch of merchants, and merchants can have a very vast network. Very vast network. Very good idea to just have a bit of a just desserts moment with those freaking bandits. I'm gonna steal all your shit because you tried to steal my shit. A very fair compromise. And that little chimera creature called a new, using electricity. I didn't know any better. That's very similar to the creatures that are in. Wait a minute. I think that's the exact same creature as the one that I've been facing in Shin Megami. That's the same fucking creature, isn't it? Okay. Anyway, then I should have immediately clicked in my head. Wait a minute. Those things know electricity. I don't know. I might be confusing with something else here, but that was interesting to say the least. I'm not entirely sure. That was interesting. Getting the illusions from those bats, and then you immediately get a shield that, unfortunately, I guess it does not do what I thought it would do, like similar to the bats, but it's a megaphone of sorts. Very good that you just so happened to get the very tool you needed to beat the dungeon boss. Actually, you know what? That kind of follows standard dungeon logic. You find the weapon that you need for the boss in the dungeon, and then you use it against the boss. You know what? That's actually kind of fitting now that I think about it. It's very video game-like. Also, now Fumi is able to... Actually, they're all of them are able to use freaking magic. Finally! Variety! Also, Raptalia can turn invisible. Nice. Okay. Aside from that one moment... Actually, I can't even really complain about that 3D animation thing. It just kind of made me think of something else there. Overall, this episode was actually pretty darn good. Now Philo has some clothes, and now she looks like frickin' Flan. And I'm gonna stop repeating that now, because I think I've already got the message across by this point. All right. I'm still wondering if that seed and that crop that the spear hero put out, I wonder if they're connected somehow. Or maybe that I need to keep that seed in, like, the back of my head, like, okay, I need to keep this little detail remembered. Or just keep it on check, so that way I know when to think about it. But I'm going to go with the theory that I think the seed and that crop are connected. Somehow. Also, where the fuck is the bow hero? Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I'm going to go jump into the next episode, and I will see you guys there. Hello there, everybody. Sabah92 aka Nightmare, and welcome back to the Rising of the Shield Hero, and now we're on episode 7. In the last episode, the main focus of the episode was trying to get clothes for Philo, and apparently they needed something called Magic Thread, which allows you to make clothes that are specifically for people that can transform. Very interesting that they actually introduced that. I'm kind of happy. It, makes sense. And it also kind of him bringing up that, oh, I'm going to be running out of money at this point. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. But apparently they needed a jewel or some sort of gemstone to be able to do it. And I like the idea, I should have brought this up earlier. I like the idea of them being like a traveling, just traveling and helping people out. Kind of like an apothecary, stuff like that. I like that. Also, not because it just, happens to remind me of Alphen from Octopath Traveler. Best boy. It just kind of puts me in the mind of that. I like that. I mean, normally you see a hero and they're doing what the sword hero is doing. They're constantly just fighting and destroying all sorts of monsters and all that stuff. But this one is more like, okay, let's see. I'm going to just get into the merchantry business. How are we on finances? Let's see what crops are good to sell. Okay, what materials can I appraise? All that stuff. I kind of like that. It's and not only because it just kind of reminds me of Spice and Wolf. Just It's a good show, damn it. Anyway, got the clothes, got the gemstone, and more good rumors are spreading about the shield hero in opposal to the bad rumors, which the bandits try to use. But good old threats certainly put that to rest, thankfully.
So, I'm kind of curious to see how this episode's going to play out, so let's throw ourselves in.
Oh! That's a hell of a way to end that one. Okay, I was originally going to talk about two things that happened. No, that little ending scene, dear God. Okay, this was actually a really good episode for a few reasons. Okay, so the first reason was it combined a couple of plots all in one, and it did a pretty good job with that. One, it also also it kind of proved that I was thinking correctly, combining the whole this seed that was locked away in the previous episode and the whole miracle crop that Mr. Spear Hero discovered were both the same thing, and this caused vegetation and plant-type monsters to suddenly overrun a village, and just the forest in general. So, I wonder if he's going to bring that up to Spear Hero. Now, by the way, you know that village you just saved from famine? Yeah, that's that obviously evil seed locked away in a chest where you ignored the text. That or you really just couldn't read it? The obviously evil seed did something obviously evil, and it's your fault. He has something to rub into the Spear Hero's face again. Ha ha ha! But, oh my god, it just kind of clicked in my head. What if this story is gonna be kind of like a kind of a reversal here? First off, the main hero has a terrible reputation because of all that stuff, while the Spear Hero is much more elevated because of his connection to that royal bitch. But now it's slowly starting to twist around here. Now there's more positive rumors going about the Spear Hero, and now the Shield Hero. And now there's going to be some I bet you there's probably going to be some really bad stuff going around, because a seed that the Spear Hero is responsible for caused this massive outbreak. I am betting you that rumor is bound to spread. Possibly, I think. Now, it was interesting seeing him cure the people, which was great, as well as changing the properties of the seeds in making this seed a much more positive one. That was actually really well done. And the whole hot spring thing didn't bother me. It was actually really nice. And also Philo and Raphtalia now having a much healthier, I'm guessing not really so much a rivalry, but it's much more like friendly terms. I like that. That was actually a really nice, and I don't think it felt rushed to me, at least. It was actually well done and well executed. I liked that. It was nice. Now, the whole thing about an epidemic, on the other hand, that's got me curious. Because that beast looked very similar to the one that the Sword Hero slain. I think? Ah, crap, I'm going to have to go back and take a look at that. But that's kind of what it reminded me of. An epidemic, huh? Ooh, this has got me curious. And I can't wait to jump into the next episode to find out. First off, big thank you to Ardith for kind of pointing out that there was an extra scene after this, after the credits. Thank you. I have a sick feeling I might have missed it. But anyway, thank you very much for kind of pointing that out to me. Now, I'm really loving the show. It's really freaking good, and I'm enjoying it. I like it. So, I'm kind of curious to see how this goes in the next episode. I'm wondering what this epidemic problem. I wonder. If I had to take a guess, what if the Shield Hero or Naofumi just kind of cures it, but then Malty is like, oh, by the way, Spear Hero, I think it's actually you that did this. Let's go and take credit. I like that idea. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of obviously evil things that woman would do. And it just seems evil is obvious, you know? But anyway, I'm going to end it there. So if you all liked this, be sure to let me know. Thank you all so much for watching, and I can't wait to watch more of this, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. or next video, whichever comes first.